It's yet another Tuesday, and welcome to the show that focuses on all things youth throughout the week. This is, of course, Generation C. I'm Mpho Katjiuongua.
And I'm Jamie Lost. Generation C informs the youth through our three segments: The Zone, School Corner, and Varsity Chat Room.
The Zone is published every Tuesday in the Namibian Sun, Algemeine Zeitung, as well as The Republican. But let's take a look at what The Zone has in store for us. Well, today in studio we are joined by Mpho Katjiuongua from ShapeSkills Namibia. He is the former project lead. Stay tuned to see what he has to say.
Well, in today's Zone, on our page 1, we do take a look at the Commerce Regional Council last week that handed over information and technology equipment to the Fidel Castro Raz Primary School's computer. The donation included 9 computers which will be made available for the learners' use. Let's take a look at how it went.
It is an honor for me to stand here today to hand over information and communication technology equipment towards the computer lab and library project of Fidel Castro Ruth Primary School as our beneficiary for 2021-2022 financial year. The Commerce Regional Council is committed to its mission to provide any effective and efficient service delivery in order to improve the living standard of our people by accelerating regional and social economic development through intersectoral collaboration and community participation. This is demonstrated in responding to community need by making sure that the regional allocate funds yearly aimed at community social economic development projects. Ladies and gentlemen, since the inception of this program, the constituency through its development community has supported over 150 individual business projects. The impact of this assistance was more felt by the business owner of trade such as carpentry, bakery, kapana, salon, barbershop, tailoring, construction, welding, auto mechanic, electrical, and upholstery. For the financial year 2021-2022, Constituency Development Committee decided to support the community at large.
What an amazing initiative by the Regional Council.
Indeed, indeed. You could just see all the smiles on the learners' faces at this handover. Now, moving over to page 2, we of course have an article on the Engoshi's Bikers Club, which donated food items and cosmetics to the EPM Kindergarten and Daycare Center, which is located near the Havana informal settlement at the Ongos Valley. The items worth 5,000 will be assigned to a soup kitchen that caters to close to 100 children in Havana and surrounding locations every Sunday. Now, such an amazing initiative. Let's take a look.
My name is I'm well known as Natasha. Well, I live in Havana, new location, the side of Hong Kong, far away from hospitals, police stations, and so on. So when you guys come, it's probably just mountains all over here. So it's not safe for kids either. And the road, let me not talk about it. I am the founder of APM Kindergarten, actually. APM stands for, not actually stands for, it initials for the 3 people we took in last year around June. They didn't have a place to stay. Some didn't have food, clothes, so we took them in and accommodated them until they got back on their feet. So what we actually do here is every Saturday we cook for the kids around the community. Can I here today?
Okay, good afternoon. How are you guys? I'm Bazano from Mpho Bikers Club. I'm the club president. So today we decided to come to APC Soup Kitchen to come and make a donation. And yesterday was a humanitarian day, so we thought like, no, why not really go deep where like people, where people really can't reach. And it's also that the route that we really took was a bit tough. However, we made it here, you understand. So these are the unheard voices, and that's where we try to reach out here.
How did you identify?
We identified it through Natasha. We had a project somewhere in town, and it was mentioned. She mentioned that no, there's a soup kitchen, and you guys should really come in. It took us a while to get here, but yeah, that is how we got to learn about it.
And what are some of the items you are donating here today, and what is the total that was spent?
Is it okay? The value is a bit undisclosed. Unfortunately, I won't be able to say that as this is a charity. But okay, let me just say 5,000. And what it did was we actually asked. We didn't just buy anything. We actually did ask them that what exactly it is that you need. Because then we wouldn't want to buy something and they already have it. So they gave us a list, and then through our club, we then asked for the donations from the members. And yeah.
My name is Steven. Make sure. We're just saying on trying to help the kids. Just remember that it's not everyone has everything that we have like at home. So we're just saying it's not about saying we are feeding the people. It's not about saying they don't have what to eat at home. We're just trying to bring also people together, and that's how we bring ideas together also. By the end of the day, we really have people that need to be fed, like in Havana, like kid wise and stuff like that. And we're calling everyone that has a heart like for the kids, especially the kids, not the elders, right? But the kids. See, these people are happy people. They don't care whether something is going wrong or not. They don't care what's going to happen tomorrow. But it's sad when you look at them like that, like they are moving around the street without clothes or maybe food to eat at home and stuff like that. So we are here just to trying maybe to put a smile on their faces. And also we are calling, especially the government. Those are the people, the government, the ministries, those are the people that we are calling on board to contribute to this organization. And then, I don't really want to say much because I'm a man of few words, but at the end of the day, guys, the government must come on board to help these kids. As you can see, we have a lot of kids here. They are walking around naked, but they don't even know whether they are naked or not. They're just there being happy, but I'm just saying, their parents don't have the means, so the government must also come on board and look at the people that are living in this side.
On page 2, we take a look at the photo of the week. For this week, we have a photo from the under-19 first rugby teams of Windhoek Gymnasium Private School, the Schumann's Group Lions, and the Samsung Windhoek High School Kudu Bulls battled it out on the field last Thursday. Windhoek Gymnasium Private School took the lead by winning 22-15. For this week's Vox Pop, we went to Fidel Castro Ruz Primary School, and we asked the students that received a donation from the Khomas Regional Council how this donation benefits the learners at the school. Let's hear what they have to say.
To learn about moment, and how to and a lot of things that we don't know. Just even science, searching for information. Just a lot of things.
Yeah, right.
Well, some of us don't have computers at home, so we come here any day and learn how to learn something more. So.
You're really thankful for the donation.
Yes. I really want to say thank you very much. So we can just take time and learn more about
So computers at a school is going to benefit us a lot. So we are able to research on doing our homeworks or anything we want more than for us to search for books more and read. So it will help us a lot in us finding more information. And it's also gonna help us to learn how to type. And also since we here this side there is no electricity, so we don't have computers in the houses, so we can use the one at school in researching and we can also know how to type before we go to high school.
For leaders to give us better education because we are in grade 7 and we are going next year to grade 8. So we are gonna be given homework that we need to use the computers. We are gonna come to our school and we think the cities for bringing us the computers to help us.
Right.
How blessed are they? Like, I wish my school got that
Blessings
donation.
on blessings.
Blessings on blessings, definitely.
All right, so moving over to page 3, I mean, we've all been hearing that the repo rate has increased. Don't you worry, don't you fear, Zone has got you. Now, on page 3, we've got a feature by Rosalia Pietres, and this feature focuses on the repo rate and what it means to the youth.
Welcome to School Corner, where we talk about all things school. So this week we have our 5 schools coming out, 2 from Ocho and 3 from Commersdal, and we are super excited.
I'm super excited.
I can't even wait to see how those newspapers look because we work super hard. The school editorial teams are totally putting their backs into it. So guys, do make sure to grab your copy from the following schools in Commersdal: Ella Du Plessis, as well as David Poseidonhout and Commastura High School.
And if you are finding yourself a little bit out of town and you are in Ocho, make sure to visit Moria Private School as well as Ocho Secondary School, because that's where it is at.
So we do want to remind you that you guys need to send us. You need to send us content. We're definitely looking forward to opening our Telegram channels and just seeing, oh, she sent us videos of their rugby game. You know, be active with us. We want to engage and communicate with you guys.
Indeed, indeed. But it's of course time to learn more and have fun from our ShapeSkills Namibia former lead. That is of course Mpho Katjiuongua. Right, if you are just joining us, of course, watching Generation C, the show that aims to empower the youth throughout all our 3 segments, The Zone, Varsity Chat Room, and School Corner. But now it's, of course, our interview segment, and we are joined by Mpho Katjiuongua.
Thanks so much for having me, and it's great to be back on the show again.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Right, so let's start off with, what is ShapeSkills Namibia?
Right, so ShapeSkills is a project developed by the Global Shapers, which is a youth organization under the World Economic Forum, and we have a team based specifically here in Windhoek for Windhoek's needs.
Yeah.
ShapeSkills' main aim is to upskill Namibian youth, right?
Yes.
So we have a huge issue in the country, right?
Yeah.
About 48% of our youth are unemployed, and there's no country that can grow and develop without that baseline, right?
Yeah.
And the youth are always the future in terms of perspective, in terms of energy, in terms of creativity.
Yeah.
They're the ones you have to pile your energy towards. And ShapeSkills was born out of this knowledge that there is a gap and that we as youth have a role to play in that, right? Supporting our fellow colleagues. So ShapeSkills essentially aims to upskill youth to be market ready, to improve the amount of skills they have, to get a variety of jobs, right? And we have 5 main categories. The first one is entrepreneurship, so to help people understand the ins and outs of how to start a business. We have project management, which you can apply to entrepreneurship, but if you want to do your own project by itself, we can help you with that. Communications and marketing, which I know is your cup of tea. We also have that, and we have marketing and web design, IT and web design, which is to get the more tech element around it. And then the final one is diplomacy, which is much more about how you manage yourself as a young professional, how you manage conflict in different situations, how you manage interviews, and how you sort of build the concept of the kind of career and identity that you want to have as a young professional. And that's what ShapeSkills is really about.
Wow, I love the whole concept of it. Do you think that, or was ShapeSkills born from the youth unemployment rate within the country?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think us as global shapers, we're pretty fortunate, most of us. Most of us have had the chance to find a job after going to university. But a lot of people with the same amount of potential as us just haven't been that fortunate. I mean, it's not every young person in history that's had to go through a pandemic, then an economic crisis, then inflation, plus a war and the supply chain challenge. So there's a lot of things happening that make it really hard for employers to open the doors as much as they want to. And ShapeSkills is to help empower and at the same time build confidence. Because one of the first things that goes when you're just waiting for a job and opportunity is your confidence dips.
Yeah.
And it's hard to express yourself to the fullest when you don't have that confidence. So apart from just the skills that we're trying to impart, we're also trying to build an ecosystem of youth that constantly engage, share ideas, share opportunities, whether it's scholarships, job opportunities, etc. We're trying to build that ecosystem that's very organic in really circulating opportunities.
Yeah.
And we want, that's I think the vision of where we want ShapeSkills to be, people who are skilled, who connect and collaborate.
Skilled people who connect and collaborate.
Exactly.
That's what I'm keeping. That's my next caption. All right. So how do I, as a youth that is unemployed currently, get in touch with ShapeSkills Namibia?
Right. So all the marketing that we do for the program happens on our social media panels. Right. So we have Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Right? And you just look for the Global Shapers Windhoek Hub. Now, we're going to send out calls for applications. It's going to happen through a Google's form. So you just click on the link. There are a few questions you fulfill, and we have some criteria. And this was a very hard thing to decide on, right? We had to go back and forth on this. But essentially, we wanted to target youth that have been struggling to find employment, but already have some baseline of skills, right? So we actually target unemployed graduates. That's the primary target, right? Which has its pros and its cons. I'm very happy to chat that through. But essentially, you go on the link. There are a few documents that you need to submit to sort of prove that you are an unemployed graduate and so on. And then we do a sort of a sifting process. We will communicate to you via email, and then we'll let you know sort of in a week and about a week and two whether you're in the program or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's actually a good thing. Unemployed graduates, because now they're the ones that are mostly seeking jobs at that
100%.
moment. But now, let's say I'm a working individual and I feel like I still want to upskill myself. I feel like these skills are standing out for me and I want to join this program. What then?
So I must say at this point, we don't accommodate for that group. And that's really from a capacity perspective. We're a pretty small team, right? And everyone in our team already has their main job on the side, right? So either their main job or their students. But we're very open to expanding the concept of ShapeSkills as it grows. As I said, we've reached about 70 youth so far since 2019. And I'm really hoping by the end of this year we've reached the 100 mark. So 100 students trained over this period for us would be a real milestone. And also an opportunity to reflect on the dynamics of the project. I think in my head, ShapeSkills is still very much in its pilot phase. And in the pilot phase, I very strongly believe in the idea that you test different concepts. You see what works, what doesn't work, and you really have an open ear to feedback, and that makes the biggest of differences. So that's something that we're open to, and in the future I hope we can have a program that accommodates for those that have already taken that fortunate step.
Honestly. All right, so when do applications open and when can people actually start applying online and all that? Or is it a physical application, but you mentioned that it's a Google form?
Everything is online, we're trying to minimize our paper usage as well. So applications open at the beginning of September, so this is towards the end of this week. They'll be open for a whole month, so the whole month of September. At the end of September, we'll take about a week, so that's the beginning of October, where we'll evaluate applications. And then sort of from the middle of October, more or less, we will give feedback to participants and the program will start. It'll run for a month. It'll happen at the UN House, which is in Klein Windhoek near Womenabrock. And all training sessions will happen there. There is a $15 Namibian deposit, which you get back if you finish all the different training programs. So in many ways, it could be completely free for you, besides the jive zak, of course, the taxi care. And that's the idea. That's really the concept. And we like to think of ourselves as a welcoming group, and we're really open to anyone who has that ambition and hunger and bravery. Because we want to help you during this stage of your career, because we know it's not easy.
It isn't easy at all. But thank you so much, and congratulations on you guys for coming up with this very amazing concept. And I love that you're actually doing something to better the unemployment rate here in Namibia. Any final comments for our viewers?
A big thank you to the UN in Namibia and Dolola, who have been strong partners with us since the very beginning. And of course, just to send a message that please do apply for ShapeSkills. And if you don't be a stranger to the hub. We have a lot of projects that we're trying to do, and we're always open to collaboration. So in that sense, thank you obviously to NMH and my zone team. You guys are fantastic. And we're looking forward to seeing your applications, and we're wishing you the best for your career.
Yes, right. There you have it. $50 investing into your own future. If you're unemployed, sitting at home, this is your time to shine and upscale your skills. Right? Let's head over to the varsity chat room.
So as you all do know, page 4 has now totally changed to our Varsity page, where we look at our Varsity Corner as well as our Varsity News. And for this week's Varsity News, we take a look at an article on the International University of Management hosted an official groundbreaking ceremony in Ehana to symbolize the construction of its 6th campus in the northern town. The first phase of the construction has been tabled to cost 25 million in the total after IUM bought the plot from the Ehana Town Council.
Amazing.
25 million. It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
I think I paused there by 25 million because I was like, whoa. Well, for this week's Varsity Corner, we take a look at Jaleel Klassen, a young, goofy, light-hearted person. He grew up in Windhoek and spent the majority of his life in Dorado Park. Well, let's stay tuned for the video to learn more about Jaleel.
Jaleel Klassen is a young, goofy, and light-hearted person who grew up in Windhoek City, spending the majority of his life in Dorado Park, where he still resides. He attended Delta Secondary School, where he was a bit of a rebel and naughty kid in the sense that he was always a bit of a joker in class. In his spare time, he enjoys boxing, training in his garage as a workout, and hiking, and simply hanging out with friends. What inspired him to choose his field of study is during his undergraduate studies at Eastern Mediterranean University, he became very close to one of the Civil Engineering Department's most amazing lecturers, now Professor Dr. Murda Kilkach. She taught structural engineering fundamentals. As a result, by the time he began his postgraduate studies, he knew which branch of civil engineering he wanted to pursue: structural engineering. To find out more about what Jaleel Joseph Klassen is doing, do make sure to read his Varsity Corner in the Zone, which is published in the Namibian Sun, Algemeine Zeitung, as well as the Republican. Well, there you have it. Generation C, today's episode was amazing. I must say that I've learned a lot, especially from Mpho, because I think it's about time to build the youth that are unemployed in the country and upscale their skills.
I definitely agree with that, Hansho. It was super interesting watching that interview. Thank you for, making it lekker, spicy and interesting.
Yeah, I had to ask the questions for my people, especially us who are luckily employed and are still trying to upscale our skills.
Definitely. Thank you for that. But guys, do remember to catch us same time, same place.
Shishinale. Goodbye.
Bye.